Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Honorable Ngunga. Let's start off. Good morning, honorable members. I welcome you to this sitting for this morning. Clerk, take us through.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
I have a communication to make. Honorable members, this week is going to mark the end of the first section of part 1 of the approved calendar of the Assembly for the 5th session, and I would like to thank you for your cooperation in executing business laid before the House. As we take a short recess this week, I urge you to continue undertaking your mandate with vigor to deliver your promise to the electorates. In addition, the Assembly will be organizing various programs aimed at enhancing your capacity in delivering on your mandate. One such program is scheduled for this week, where you will be considering the following. A, the County Annual Development Plan for the financial year 2026-2027. B, consideration of legislative agenda for the 5th session. And C, consideration of the MACHAKOS County Gender Equality and County Empowerment Bill 2025. The County Assembly has ensured the necessary logistics on the trainings workshop have been procured, including a venue and trainers. I wish to remind you that the workshop is an extension of Assembly committees, and attendance is of utmost importance. In this regard, I wish to remind that the training workshop scheduled for this week is a must attend. And any apologies should be done in accordance with the provisions of Article 194 of the Constitution and Standing Order 222 of the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders. I'm sure members, you're familiar with Article 194. I direct, therefore, the clerk to circulate a communication to all honorable members detailing the dates of the training, including the traveling dates. Thank you, honorable members. Next order.
Order number 3.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Messages.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Honorable, yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to bring to your attention that
Yes.
it seems we have a new minority leader in the House, and that the same has not been communicated to this House by virtue of the occupant of the seat reserved for the minority leader. I seek your guidance, Madam Speaker.
No, the issue was, the matter was directed to me.
Oh.
Yeah. Honorable Ngunga, take your seat. Take your rightful seat. Thank you. Next order.
Madam Speaker,
Yes.
I think with your guidance, the Honorable Ngunga is not the leader of minority. He's the deputy leader of minority. The previous occupant of the same is actually Honorable Member of Mbiuni, who doesn't in any way qualify to be a minority leader or a deputy minority leader. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Ngunga, what's up? Just take your rightful seat, I thought.
Madam Speaker, I would want to respond as follows. While I occupy this seat, I do it on a temporary basis because the House does not envisage a situation where there is a vacuum. As I see today here, I sit as the leader of minority as for this session. When the official occupant comes, Madam Speaker, I will be moving to the right position. But as it is now, I am leading this section.
Point of
Madam
information,
Speaker.
Honorable Speaker. Point of information, Honorable Speaker. Point
Honorable
of
Ngunga,
information.
let's not argue over that matter. Please just take your rightful position.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
Okay. Sit on the reserved one.
Information, Honorable Speaker, if you allow.
No, let's not dwell on that matter. Let's proceed with the work.
It's a very brief one.
No, thanks. Let's proceed. Next order, clerk.
Order number 4. Petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5. Papers.
At this point, I would like to call upon Honorable Alphonse Mutinda, the Vice Chair, Budget and Appropriation Committee, to lay down the paper.
Good morning, honorable members.
Morning.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, too.
Good morning to you.
Madam Speaker, Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Tuesday, 10th March 2026. Report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the consideration of the Count Fiscal Strategy, paper 2026.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Next order.
Order number 6. Notices of motion.
May I invite Honorable Alphonse Mutinda, Vice Chair, Budget and Appropriation Committee, to come forward and take us through the notice of motion.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that this House adopts the report of the Budget and the Appropriation Committee on the Count Fiscal Strategy Paper 2026 laid on the table of the House on Tuesday 10th March 2026 and pursuant to the provision of Section 114 of the 117 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Machakos County Assembly Standing Order number 205 approves the County Fiscal Strategy Paper for the financial year 2026.
Thank you, Honorable Member. May I as well invite Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, leader for majority leader, to come forward and give a notice of motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, honorable members.
Good morning.
And good morning, Madam Speaker.
Good morning to you.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice that, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 20, Suborder 5, the thanks of the Assembly be recorded for the exposition of public policy contained in the address of the Governor delivered on 25th February 2026. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I'm really greeted. Today is a special day for me. Sounds. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion, consideration of County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2026.
May I invite Honorable Alphonse Mutinda, Vice Chair, Budget and Appropriation Committee, to come forward and take us through the motion.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that this House adopt the report of the Budget and the Appropriation Committee on the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2026, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday 10th March 2026, and pursuant to the provision of Section 117 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Machakos County Assembly Standing Order number 205 approves the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2026.
You may call our seconder.
Honorable Member representing Biuni, Honorable PK.
Thank you, Honorable Members. I now propose the question that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2026 laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 10th March 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 117 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Machakos County Assembly Standing Order 205 approves the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2026. Before I invite members to discuss this matter, may I invite the mover to come and highlight on the report. Honorable Alphonse, come forward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I too take this opportunity to welcome honorable members to our today's business, which is very key and also important to the next financial year. This will determine how our comeback will be, because I trust this is the final budget which we implement on our regimes. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Now, let's agree on the way you are going to highlight. The report looks very bulky.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. With your permission, allow me to take members through the key highlights, because the whole report might take us a lot of time.
Correct.
So
exactly where do you want to start?
So, Madam Speaker, would like to start with the introduction, which is very important, so that members may be conversant on what we are doing. Honorable Speaker, the Count Fiscal Strategy paper is a policy document.
Then let's agree first. When you do the introduction, where is that introduction to start with? What page? Page 6. Huh? Page 6. Introduction, I've seen it, yes.
Yes.
Then
we go to page, the same page,
yes.
Whereby the members will be able to see from the legal basis for their self. Then we move to page 17, where I'll take members through the fiscal policy and the budget framework. As well, on the same page, I will also take members through the performance review. Then we move to page 20, where the proposed count resource envelope of financial year 2026-2027 and over the medium term. From there we go to page 26 on public participation report. And on the same page, we'll see the submission from the CCM Finance.
Okay. Then general observation, isn't it?
On that point, we shall have the trend analysis of on-source revenue.
The 10th.
Page 27.
27.
Yeah.
Trend, okay.
We also have concern on page 26, whereby we'll see the submission of written memorandum. We'll also cover departmental ceilings.
Then you are reading the entire report. It appears you are reading just everything.
Unless, Madam Speaker, be advised.
Can we be guided here, Honorable Majority Leader? I think members have had this document for the longest.
We have interacted with this
Yes.
document since last week when the CEOs and CACMs
Yes.
were here. I also happened to sit in the budget committee. And even yesterday we sat here for like 4 hours interacting with the same document. So I beg that you allow the Vice Chair Budget Committee just to do the introductory part of the report, and of course the legal framework, and then the recommendation of the report. And then we can allow members to debate. So the only three sections: the introduction, legal framework, and the recommendation. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker. Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ndawa, then Honorable.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I just want to inform my colleague, who is the acting chair, Budget and Appropriation, Honorable Mutinda. When we are crossing from one side to the other side, it is a must that you bow. You give respect to the authority of the house. He has been moving, yes, he is moving in a marketplace. So, Honorable Speaker, let him take note.
Honorable Alphonse, have you heard the sentiments by Honorable Ndawa? That it is a requirement of our standing orders.
Madam Speaker.
Let me finish first. That it is a requirement. Honorable Nzioka, wait for me, finish with him, then you can now help him. That it is a requirement that you bow anytime you cross, you bow. You go sit, you stand up. You go bow, go the other side, like that. This is a house of order and procedures. Those are the procedures. Right. Now, there is a guideline that you have been given. Honorable Gunga, were you saying something?
Yes, I'm saying something, Madam Speaker. And I wish I am mad, seriously, Madam Speaker, because we are talking about the county fiscal strategy paper. Madam Speaker, and if you look at the role of the county strategy paper, it's actually like an opening to the budget making process.
Yes.
This is a very important document, and other than the members that are sitting here, the general public is very interested in this document here. I happen to have been involved in a public participation, and members of the public are actually aware that today we are going to be enlightening on this document. How I wish, Madam Speaker, members could be more patient, and the committee takes us about 3/4 of the report, because we are not only discussing this report here by ourselves. There are other members of the public that are key to watch what we are doing here. This being one of the key roles that we are here, Madam Speaker, we are talking about budget. If we rush and start saying that we are late here because maybe the budget committee is aware, the members of the public are very keen to get to know what we are doing. Remember, it is here that pending bills are going to be mentioned, which is a thorn in the county. It is here that we want to know how the county is projecting on revenue collection. It is here in this paper that we want to see how the county is going to manage our ceilings. And so, Madam Speaker, we say we rush here and there, then we will be absconding on our duties. How I wish with the committee and the House could have time, we go through this document. That is a key role that we are bestowed upon by our electorate, and they are watching. If we say that you mutilate the document to only read parts, I guess the committee will be doing us a disservice. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Point of information taken.
Madam Speaker, I want to inform the immediate Speaker, Honorable Ngonga, who is a ranking member of this assembly. At some point, he seems to be misleading this House. The report which is before us was subjected to committee interrogations. And once enough, Madam Speaker, your office did not tire up. It went ahead and invited members, the whole House, on Friday to come and ventilate on the same document. The honorable member chose deliberately not to attend. Your office did not try up again. It went ahead and extended an olive hand to all the members to come and discuss, air their views yesterday. And that opportunity was according. The House was full of secretariats and very few elected members and nominated members who decided to come and give us a boost to have moral support. So remember, Honorable Speaker, there is nothing we can change. If he wanted to hear and listen to the entire document, he would have availed himself yesterday or Friday. So let the honorable member proceed, bring this document to the way it is, the way you direct, and we pass it, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, I want to defend myself by saying, Madam Speaker, while essentially I want to agree with him that the document has been subjected to I don't know what levels, but this is a final document, participation, I agree with all that. Yes. But I am saying, Dominic, and I want you to get me clearly, I am saying that this is a final document that is going to be consumed by the public and ourselves. And so, whether I was here or whether I was not here, I am not the author of this document here. I am saying that the final document must be had. And that is why we have reports here. And Madam Speaker, I think we are having a very wrong culture here in this assembly here. In fact, this is only culture that is distinct of the third assembly, where people sit over a month and reports are brought here and people can only read recommendations and observations. Then what is the point of writing these reports here, Madam Speaker? Sometimes I also want us to be serious. Thank you. And that's what I'm saying seriously. When I was absent, I was studying that.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, point of information. Information here.
Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Looking at what the chairman is ordering, this is less than 10 pages. Huh? Yes, and we are here today to discharge the mandate that we are given by the Constitution and the standing orders. Kindly, honorable members, let's be patient. Let the members of public also understand what we are expecting. The other time the governor was here, he read 100 pages and we were patient. Why are we not patient to listen to less than 10 pages?
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, sometimes I see us arguing, over nothing. I want to support the Honorable Dominic. Here, yesterday, some members were actually outside here. They could not even come to the house to get concurrence and listen to what we were saying, just outside. So it means the few of us who bore the brunt of the time were misused. I'm saying this is a public document. These honorable members already have it in their as a soft copy. They can share to the world if they so wish. And I am very sure once we approve or disapprove this document, it is again going to be put in the website of the assembly. So, Madam Speaker, for those of us who have been patient with CCM and CEOs and who came here yesterday for 4 or 5 hours to deliberate on the same document and largely agreed with it, and we were saying if tomorrow it comes to the House, we'll just, because yes. So, Madam Speaker, I beg that you give direction that we cannot read a report of 30 pages. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I think I'm a ranking member.
Are you trying to say that therefore,
Madam Speaker.
Wait a minute. I just want to be guided, Madam Speaker.
Madam
I think
Speaker.
this was my point. Madam Speaker, one of the questions that I want to ask. If then you convene this House today,
Honorable
wait a minute,
Bunga.
Honorable Majority. Please, we need to agree.
Honorable Bunga, I have not given you this opportunity. I have not given you. Honorable Mwanga then, I started with Honorable Ondeti, Honorable Musila, then Honorable Mwanga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand here to congratulate the members who spent time yesterday, over 5 hours, going through the same document. I congratulate the nominated members. I counted and we were quite many. And this is a serious document. I agree we should debate it. But we spent time looking at it yesterday, and members who did not manage to make it, please, let us just read as recommended by Mheshimiwa Ngonga. I think you are out of order.
Honorable members, speak through me.
Madam Speaker was clever enough to give us a whole day to come here and discuss. Why didn't you come? Yesterday was a day for us to spend more
the member
time.
needs to be orderly. I don't answer to you.
Ndeti,
Are we discussing about my absence yesterday, surely?
Address me.
Are we discussing my absence yesterday?
Have a seat.
And after all, no, I'm Peter, Madam Speaker, because if you did your business yesterday, then why are we called here? Why are we coming here today? If you are telling me the report is finished as good as yesterday, so why were you somewhat here? What are we supposed to be doing? Why are we doing half work?
Honorable Ngonga, have a seat.
It's my turn. Madam
Honorable
Speaker, it's
Musila,
my turn.
proceed.
Thank you. Honorable
Let
Speaker.
Honorable Musila proceed.
Yes, I still concur with the majority leader and the others who attended yesterday's session. We spend our time here, and my absence should not cause a problem to the rest. We need to go forward. Over the time we have been reading the introduction, even the other reports are equally important. And we dealt with this one to the deepest consideration of our time and the information in there yesterday. Today, we shouldn't be taken back just because one or two guys were away. I would wish we just go as the majority leader had proposed. Thank you.
Point of information, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker,
Point
Madam
of
Speaker,
information.
Madam Speaker, you had already
Point
given
of
me time to
information.
contribute.
Point of order.
Thank you, Madam
Which
Speaker.
point of order?
He's
Thank you.
going to say. Say your
Standing,
point of order.
Honorable Speaker, that aware that standing order number 27 sub order 2 provides that the Speaker shall interrupt business at 12:30 p.m. for the morning sitting. Aware that standing order number 27 sub order 3 provides that the House may resolve to extend its sitting time. Honorable Speaker, aware that standing order number 27 sub order 4 requires motion to extend sitting time to be moved at least 30 minutes before the time appointed of adjournment. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the motion that the House resolves to extend its sitting time until the business of the day is concluded. I call Honorable Ngonga to second.
I don't second.
What is that? Oh, no.
No, we proceed. Honorable Speaker.
Oh.
Honorable Speaker. Point of information. We cannot go.
Speaker.
We have
So we can't.
12:30.
So we proceed.
Members, we can proceed. No.
Honorable Monga can say 200.
Madam Speaker,
I just know that
although you have not
running,
ruled
we only
on,
have 30 minutes to go.
although you have not ruled on the motion, which has not been seconded, I want to say
I was
this.
giving you an opportunity to say, then I make a ruling. And now
On
you're
what
telling
we
me
were
I've not made a
discussing
ruling.
before, or about the motion, or about the motion stand on extension.
Speaker's ruling is the final.
You had not made a ruling so that I can contribute on what was on the table. Madam Speaker, please.
So you want to still contribute?
Madam Speaker, you know
When
there is a ruling you have to make fast.
When a motion has not been seconded.
Yes,
It
it has completely failed.
It has failed.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I'm wondering why we are wasting a lot of time debating on an issue we should not be debating. Madam Speaker, the standing orders are very clear. On our reports should be tabled before the House. The standing orders are very clear. On our reports should be tabled by chairs of committees. Madam Speaker, I'm wondering why we are rushing this report as if there are members who are against the report. Madam Speaker, this is a very important document. This is a very important report by the Budget Committee. And as a ranking member, I'm suggesting that we go report page by page, because we cannot say we were here yesterday. We were here last Friday. Today it's a business for this report. And no one of us is saying we are not going to pass this report. But, Madam Speaker and honorable members, the public is watching us. We cannot be just coming to rush reports fearing that there are some members who may be wanting to shoot down the report. Madam Speaker, I don't think there is anybody here who has intention to shoot down the report.
Madam Speaker, point of correction.
Manini? I can't handle it. No soma. No soma. Madam Speaker, can I continue?
No.
Can I proceed?
I want to make a ruling.
Sorry?
I want to make a ruling.
Before I contribute. Before I make my...
You have contributed.
But
you have said...
we are consulting with the clerk. So what I'm trying to say, Madam Speaker, just 1 minute. Members, remember that we are using public funds. That is why we will get our salaries at the end of the month. We were paid to come here and do what we are supposed to do as members of this assembly. Let's discuss this report, even if it takes the whole day. That is my stand. And Madam Speaker, for those who are fearing that it may be shut down, I want to assure them we are going to give the executive. We are going to give the executive their skunk. We are going to give the executive their skunk. She will know how to deal with it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to inform the Honorable Member and the Honorable Ngunga. They are proposing that we proceed even up to the afternoon. But I want to inform them that our calendar says that we only have the morning session for this day. And I want to tell honorable members, without any fear of contradiction, this is a constitutionally timed document, 14 days, that it has to pass. A mistake was done in the second assembly, where a list of CEOs was brought here, and members chose not to ignore the document. But at the expiry of the constitutional timeline, they were deemed to be chief officers illegally in office. So we made dilly-dally, and we had the opportunity yesterday and last week to talk about this document. So we better proceed in the remaining 30 minutes and to prosecute this document.
Madam Speaker, we need to be heard. Hey, Monga.
Honorable members, let's proceed.
Madam Speaker, maybe a caution to the House that with the motion on time extension not having gone through, Madam Speaker, I want to caution the House that we have only 30 minutes to transact the business. We have only 30 minutes to transact business. It's a caution that I want the House to be aware of, that we only have the morning session, and that is 30 minutes from now. So, Majority Leader, I want you to whip the House so that within those 30 minutes, we can make headway. I wish the moments that were spent here arguing about whether to read the report or not were spent better. Otherwise, the ball is on your court. And remember, Mheshimiwa Dominic, you are saying that this document here is time-bound. Yes, I agree with you. But you know, I don't stop time. This came here today, and we must go through it. We insist that we must go through it.
We are taking more time as we continue debating. Let's progress. This is the ruling about the issue before us, that this is a matter that has gone through public participation. It has also had 2 sittings of the whole House debating it. And it has also been debated by the committees. So therefore, we may not spend a lot of time. We don't even have the time itself because we have wasted a lot of time just talking about it. And I direct that the honorable member, the mover of the motion, takes us through the only important sections of the committee report and we progress. And those are the introduction, the legal basis, and the recommendations. We have very little time to debate this motion. Move very fast. Conclude. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Members, Honorable Speaker, would like to start with apologizing for the mistake I've done. Madam Speaker, purely was not by intentional. Failing to bow. Yeah. Madam Speaker, with the few minutes we have, I want to assure this House I will be able to deliver with the knee. So I begin with the introduction. Yes. Honorable Speaker, the County Fiscal Strategy Paper is a policy document that outlines the county government's fiscal strategy and the priorities for the given financial year, and serves as a guideline for the county government budget. The fiscal strategy paper is an important document, as it is set to offer overall policy framework for the resource allocation and inform budgetary allocation. The fiscal strategy paper contains elements such as economic analysis, revenue project, expenditure, priorities and ceiling, fiscal risk and constraints, fiscal responsibilities, alignment with other policy documents, and how the county plans to manage its spending bills over the medium term. It also document and considers the input of different stakeholders and the public is submitted during public participation. The fiscal strategy paper therefore provides a strategic framework for the county government budget and will guide in decision making around resource allocation and spending priorities for the fiscal year 2026 and over the medium term. The MACHAKOS CFSP 2026 was submitted to the County Assembly on 27th February 2026, which is within the required timeline by the law and was tabled before the Assembly on Tuesday, 3rd March 2026. Standing Order 205, Suborder 3, state that upon being laid before the Assembly, the CFSP shall be deemed to have been committed to each sectoral committee without question put. For each such committee to deliberate upon according to their respective mandates and make recommendation to the Budget and Appropriation Committee. Madam Speaker, with your permission, we move to the
Proceed to legal basis for
Yeah.
preparation of SFP.
Honorable Speaker, the County Treasury, pursuant to Section 117(1) of the Public Finance Management (PFM) Act 2012, is mandated to prepare and forward the fiscal strategy paper to the County Executive Committee for approval and subsequently submit the approved CFSP to County Assembly by 28th February of each year. Further, Section 117(6) of the PFM Act 2012, as read with Standing Order 205, Suborder 7 of MACHAKOS County Assembly. Standing Order stipulates that the Assembly shall consider and may adopt the CFSP with or without amendments, not later than 14 days after its submission. Section 117, Suborder 2 of PFM Act requires the County Treasurer to align the proposed revenue and expenditure plan to the national financial objective in the budget policy statement BPS in line with Section 117 Suborder 5 of the PFM PFM Act 2012. The County Treasury conduct public participation both in village and sub-county level from 19th to 28th April 2026. On the other hand, the County Assembly conducted sectoral committee interrogation on 4th March 2026 and held a public participation forum on 5th March 2026, Annex 1, public participation, ANFAT. The public was also invited to submit written memorandum on or before Friday 2026, March 2026 by 5 p.m. The submission and priorities from the engagement are being considered in the public participation of these reports.
Go to the general recommendations.
Madam Speaker, I go straight to the general recommendation. Yes. Honorable Speaker, the 2026 CFSP provides an all-inclusive state of the count, enabling the Budget and Appropriation Committee to properly scrutinize and propose, sealing and draw proper recommendations. Some of the guiding areas include the criteria for source sharing. I have the departmental expenditure, absorption rates, trends, view of the CECM finance, current financial year, CLA, recommendation on sealing, submission from sectoral committee and public participation, pending bills, and account on source revenue. The committee recommended as follows. 1, the county treasurer should come up with mitigation measures of control the wage bill, which now stand at 45% against a set limit of 35% of the total revenue as per section 107 of the PFM Act 2012. Read with legislation 25 sub 1 and B of the PFM regulation 2017-2015. Number 2, that the county treasurer come up with modalities on payment of all pending bills on first in first out FIFO basis with specific timeline, because some bills may lead to accumulation of pending on the amounts due, causing strain on the budget. That the procurement process under the development budget should be initiated in good time to facilitate timely completion and payment of the project. This will also aid in addressing the issue of pending bills as projects will be executed and paid for the financial year in which they will initially budgeted for. That county treasury put in place strategies to realize their own source revenue target set. The county should meet the condition as set by donors in order to access conditional grants, especially the matching count on contribution and the signatories requirement. that resources should program to where they are transferred whenever the organization of department is done. The county treasury should allocate funds that match the national government contribution under CAPE so as to complete the project. The committee recommended prioritization of the program which impact direct to wananchi, such as water, education, health, roads, agriculture, and energy. That the count should keep on increasing the budgetary provision to develop budget estimates, as this will lead to more and better services to the people. That whenever the county government intends to undertake short-term borrowing, this fund shall be used exclusively to bridge temporary financing gaps, specifically for the timely payment of employee compensation. The same shall be repaid promptly upon receipt of exchequer revenue and within the financial year of borrowing. All such borrowing will be conducted strictly within the limit prescribed under section 142 of the PFM Act 2012 of the financial year 2026-2027 budget estimates. Legislation that 7 sub-order 1 of the PFM legislation 2015 stipulates that were account assembly approved any changes in the annual estimate of the budget under section 131 of the PFM Act 2012. Any increase or reduction in expenditure of Ford shall not exceed 1% of the Ford ceiling. Pursuant to this provision, any changes in the forthcoming budget estimate should adhere to this provision. Acknowledgement.
You can end it there.
Okay, thank you, Madam.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable members, can we debate this matter? Honorable Maida, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to be very brief because we've got less than 14 minutes remaining. One, I want to correct the Honorable Chair that he said that this is our last budget to implement. This House does not implement budgets. What this House does is oversight. So whatever you've read to us that is directed to the budget, this House will oversight. Madam Speaker, we are now 4 years down the lane. This is not the first CFSP. We have passed 3, this is the 4th one, and we are headed to doing the last one next year, which we might not be able even to execute anything. So if for the past 3 years, and with this one, nothing much or too much has been done, then, Madam Speaker, we might not reinvent the wheel. What we can do is to improve it. So the recommendations are explicit. I just want to bear and dwell on one thing. The issue of the borrowing. This House has to be convinced why we need to borrow, and because this is a house of persuasions. If the committee convinces this House that the borrowing that needs to be done is as a result of the reasons that they would prove to us, then as an House, we ought to have any problem. I read this with the precedence that has been said. Even Nairobi County Assembly has approved short-term borrowing to the Nairobi County government. So if the committee will feel and come and convince this House, there's an House, we have no obligation. I support the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I only want to give 2 members, and one is from this side and the other one from this side. Honorable Ngunga.
So, we need to clear this business of Alphonse Mutinda because it's very urgent, Madam Speaker. So, but a few things that have caught my eye, and I think these are technicalities that, Madam Speaker, must be pointed out for the sake of posterity and good parliamentary procedures, Madam Speaker. And I think that is why we are pointing out. We have no problem about adopting this document here, but I think members should be seized of the opportunity to realize that we have an obligation as members of this assembly bestowed upon us by the public. Number one, when a committee brings in a report like this, they must own that report, because this report cannot be a member's report. As it is signed here, Madam Speaker, technically, this report is only signed by the chairman. So sometimes I was also seated there and asking myself whether there is actually concurrence in that committee. The members, and excuse me, Honorable Nzioka, please, don't be jittery about what I'm likely to say, because I'm correcting very important procedures that eventually might raise eyebrows. Of course, I am supporting the report. That should actually preview. But I am saying, Madam Speaker, what is online is that 4 members are the ones that have adopted this report. Now, what is online? And what is in front of the House is the chairman signing the report alone. So then, Madam Speaker, eventually, and that is why by Mheshimiwa Monga, my colleague here, and the first leader of majority, and me, leader of majority, Madam Speaker, we want to caution the House, eventually, that we must adopt proper practices. Because eventually, people will find us here. These documents are going to be found here. As I propose that we adopt the paper, I want to caution the budget committees that they must be seized on good practices. You cannot be telling me yesterday I was not here and a committee presents their document in this assembly here that has not been adopted. We have 8 members that are sitting in that committee.
Point of information, Point of information, Madam Speaker. Point of information.
Honorable Ngunga.
I support, Madam Speaker. I support.
But I just want to correct you on one issue, that the signatures are not 4, but they are 7.
Yes. Yes.
The one I have. Yeah. Thank you. Honorable Majority Leader, then we end it here. Yeah. Take a few minutes, seconds.
It won't even be a minute.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I rise to support the report. I sit in the budget committee, and also want to thank the fathers of this house. They have summoned me outside these chambers, and they have given me a few of the lashes, but eventually we have agreed, and I want to congratulate them, and that also that even after we have had a few discussions, largely we agree with the recommendation. Members, I want to tell you something. The biggest win actually is the county assembly, because we were able to convince for a little increase in development monies, and most importantly, the mortgage for members of staff. And I'm sure that is a legacy that as members of this county assembly, we want to encourage that. Even as we fight for our welfare, we remember the members of staff. And I know, Madam Speaker, if you are able to dispense through the board about that little money, because in my opinion is little, during the supplementary budget, we could ask on behalf of members of staff, so that hata sisi tukue na utu kidogo. I thank you, Madam Speaker, and I recommend the approval of the report.
Thank you very much. Honorable, just the last one, minority, please.
Madam Speaker, I support the report, but from the discussion that was there, Madam Speaker, the reason you saw members wanting the whole report read,
yes,
there is a precedent that happened in this house that we reviewed as an house, a budgetary document, and a single individual went and altered the document. That was only discovered. So in future, we encourage that we be going through the report, because this is what we are paid to do, and there is no need for us to rush. So maybe in future we plan well. And Madam Speaker, there was a member who called us guys, Honorable Moki, and also told a member that is a problem. And I felt that was not a parliamentary language. Nobody comes here to cause a problem. Honorable Ngunga was just trying to get clarity. So thank you. I support the report.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Musila, you called the members guys, and you also called You said something else. I've forgotten. Said Honorable Ngunga is a problem. Kindly, I
No.
just want you to say, I withdraw.
I withdraw the first one because that is what I know I did, and I would apologize on the honorable members. But that other one of that I think I never mentioned.
No, you will have to withdraw.
And if I did, I apologize. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I call upon the mover, and the mover just thank the members, and that's all. Okay? So that I can pull.
Members, by the virtue we are running on time, I just take this opportunity to thank honorable members of this House for supporting this report. Thank you so much.
I now put the question that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2026 laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 10th March 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 117 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and MACHAKOS County Assembly Standing Order 205, approves the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2026. As many are of the opinion, say ayes. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, alteration of calendar and adjournment of the House.
May I invite Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, Majority Leader, to come forward and take us through the motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I just want to bring to your attention that even before I read the motion, I have an appointed seconder in the name of the Honorable Ngunga from Mua Ward. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Good. That's a good
Honorable Speaker,
tidings.
Honorable Speaker,
Yes.
I wish to move the motion that, notwithstanding the resolution of the Assembly made on 24th February 2026, that is the approval of Assembly calendar, and pursuant to Standing Order number 25, the Assembly resolves that the calendar, that is regular sessions, for the 5th session of the Third Assembly be altered to adjourn for a short recess from today, Tuesday 10th March 2026, after the morning sitting, and resume its regular sittings on Tuesday 14th April 2026 at 10 a.m. and the Assembly, that is the regular sessions, for the 5th session be altered accordingly. Madam Speaker, I don't want to, even before I call the seconder, I just want to agree with you. You already stipulated in your communication to the House why we are going on the short recess. And therefore, I take this opportunity to call the Honorable Francis Gonga to second my motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
No, thank you, Majority Leader, for appointing me to second this very important alteration of our calendar, which I graciously second. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ngunga. That's very great. I now propose the question that, notwithstanding the resolutions of the Assembly made on 24th February 2026, and pursuant to Standing Order number 25, the Assembly resolves that the calendar regular sessions for the 5th session of the Third Assembly be altered to adjourn for short recess from today, Tuesday, 10th March 2026, after the morning sitting, and resume its regular sittings on Tuesday, 14th April 2026 at 10 a.m. And the Assembly regular session for the 5th session be altered accordingly. May I invite members to debate the motion? I now put the question that, notwithstanding the resolutions of the Assembly made on 24th February 2026, approval of Assembly calendar, and pursuant to Standing Order number 25, the Assembly resolves that the calendar regular sessions for the 5th session of the Third Assembly be altered to adjourn for short recess from today, Tuesday, 10th March 2026, after the morning sitting, and resume its regular sittings on Tuesday, 14th April 2026 at 10 a.m. And the Assembly regular session for the 5th session be altered accordingly. As many are of the opinion say ayes. As many are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The House adjourns to Tuesday, 14th April 2026 at 10 a.m. in the morning. Thank you.